Today is Sunday, November 7th, and it's 11:26 a.m. Eastern Time. This is the weekly chart for Katapult Holdings, ticker symbol KPLT. And as of Friday's closed, it ended the week at $4.27. Each candlestick represents a week's worth of trading. So this is the last candlestick here going into tomorrow's trading session for November 8th. So before I go any further, just a quick disclosure. I do have a small position of Katapult Holdings. I don't have physical shares. I did opt to take a position involving option contracts. And the specific position I'm currently in involves the January 20th, 2023 contracts, and they expire in 440 days. So just right down here, the specifics to it is that I'm holding the $4 strike. So essentially what I'm saying is that I'm anticipating that price will be at or above $4 on or before January 20th, 2023. Now price is trading at 427, and which means I'm 27 cents in the money, right? But there's a little bit more to it than that. So I do have one position. My entry price was $2.35. So $2.35 times 100 shares. So this trade, not including commission, cost me $235. And as of Friday's close, it closed at $3.25. And since entering this trade, I'm up almost $90. And my trade details, I bought this contract on October 6th at 2:40 p.m. So that's just a quick disclosure. So I do have a position involving this security. Now, going back to this chart, I thought I'd revisit this because I was looking at this chart periodically throughout last week, and other than this obvious gap right here, right? So typically when there's a gap in price, the market is efficient that price will reverse itself to fill this gap. So since gapping up, right, price has been working its way back towards the downside with a potential of filling this gap. And the gap here is about 50 cents wide. So, right, so price is literally at the cusp of falling to fill the gap. And what I did was, so if I draw two indicators, the first being the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So here is 310. So based on the high of $14.70 as my pivot high, and the low of $3.10, that's my pivot low. Based on the Fibonacci retracement, if price was to reverse itself, the ideal entry or exit from my position would be the golden ratio at 61.8%, which is equal to $10.26. Now, the golden ratio is supposed to be a strong level, and here, as price was coming down, price was held as support for about a month before failing further towards the downside. And the next level of 50%, or $8.89, held as support, right? Held support, but then that also gave way for this huge drop down for a full retracement at 0%, or $3.10. So with these levels here, also another thing, I can't go any further. There's no prior history to Katapult prior to June 7th, 2021. And apparently what happened is that Katapult was formerly known as Cognical Holdings, and they changed their name to Katapult Holdings in February 2020. And it started trading under this symbol, I believe for Thinkorswim, during this time period here. So on other public sources, there is a longer history for this security, but for Thinkorswim, I can't go any further than June 7th. So I'm going to use these levels as what Thinkorswim has provided. So with my position, I'm thinking that there's a probability, again, that this gap is going to get filled. And if it does fall further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to possibly add to this position. So what I added, my second indicator that I added is another Fibonacci tool. So I'm using the same high point as my anchor, and I'm going to use this Fibonacci arc, right? So again, if I'm going to use this, right? So my anchor is right here at 1470, and I'm going to place this other endpoint, this other anchor point at the top of this candlestick here at $7.75 during the week of August 30th, right? And by placing it here, this yellow ring is equal to the Fibonacci 618 level, right? And you can see that Fibonacci 618 ring held support for 3 weeks right here, right? So if I show the details right here, so each level is equal to the Fibonacci levels here. And I highlighted it yellow because it's the golden ratio, right? So if this ring holds true as support, then there's that probability that price could gap down. I wouldn't say gap down, but come down to fill this gap sometime within the next 2 weeks. So if I toggle back down to the daily time frame, right? So I know it's getting a little messy. So the horizontal lines is the Fibonacci retracement, and the rings are the Fibonacci arc. So each level, right? So this ring right here is acting as resistance, right? And here's resistance here, but then this ring and this horizontal line of 583 acted as support, right? Here, when price fell below this ring, this next level acted as support, and here this up ring is acting as resistance, right? So I often use the arc as a combination with the Fibonacci levels just to see where there's other levels of support and resistance. So if price was to come down and fill this gap, I'm anticipating that price would do so sometime before the November 17th, actually November 19th expiration Friday for option contracts. So I would be anticipating that price was going to drop to fill this gap sometime before November 19th. And then after that, I feel that price is going to, even though it'll probably be outside this ring, I think it's going to ride this ring back towards the upside, right? So going into the end of December, the next expiration is December 17th. So if this does play out, that price does come down, I'm going to use that as a signal to take another position or add to my position. So this way I can take advantage of any upside towards $5, right? So here's the $5 mark. So that's a target price I'll be looking at going into December or possibly January, right? So what I'll do is I'll create an alarm to just notify me that price is now below or in the gray area for a potential gap fill. So if price is at below $3 and I'll say 75 cents, right? And I'll be notified with a police alarm. So this way I'll come back to so this way when price comes down, it'll notify me, it'll trigger this alarm. And what I'll do is I'll start shopping around for a $5 strike, right? Because now I think price is going to start reversing itself and heading towards $5 sometime before the end of the year, right? So my candidates are, so if I'm looking at, let's say the January 21st contracts, which expires in 76 days, a $5 strike right here on the call side would, well, it closed Friday at 63 cents per contract. So I may consider adding a few contracts to take advantage of you know, a dollar move towards $5. So that's the status of my Katapult trade. I'm looking to stick into the long term as well as a short term trade. And as the trade develops, I'll do another update. And until then, more to follow. Today is November 9th. It's 3:26 p.m. Eastern Time. This is an update for Katapult. As of the time of this recording, price is currently trading at $5.70. And for this session, it's up $1.54. So this candlestick is today, and this surge is based on Katapult's third quarterly earnings. So this is the market reaction. So that's a great sign because in my prior recording, I was targeting the $5 price level, right? And based on today's trading activity, price pierced this $5.83 price level from the Fibonacci retracement. So I was hoping, or maybe, you know, it could still happen, but if price could close above this level and stay above it and maybe, you know, have a bit more continuation going into the rest of November, that would be great, because then that would show there's a lot of momentum and interest in this stock. So, but still, I'm leery of this gap, right? So is there a probability that price could get rejected here and then come down over the next few days? That's also possible, right? But anyway, this is a great sign for today. So what I was actually looking for is a move towards the upside sometime in December. That was what I was anticipating. I thought that, you know, with today's earnings, I thought it would be negative news and that price would drop at least up to the yellow ring of the Fibonacci arc to fill this gap and then continue riding this band going into the end of the year and up to $5. That's what I thought would be happening, but who am I, right? So anyway, in anticipation to the earnings, which I was aware, but I didn't mention it prior to this recording, is because I was a bit cautious. I didn't want to jinx it. So based on the Market Watch calendar, Katapult was scheduled to report its earnings pre-market. So in light of that, yesterday I did pick up a position involving the January 21 expiration date, and right down here, the details, I did pick up the $5 strike as I had mentioned, and I picked up 3 contracts. My entry price was at 65 cents or $65 per contract. It's currently trading at $1.50. and it's up $253 since entering this trade yesterday. And between the two contracts, I'm up 320 as of the time of this recording. Now, these contracts I entered yesterday, a little after the market opened. So at 9:34 a.m. on November 8th, I bought these three contracts. So again, this is a great sign. Based on my assessment, I was anticipating a surge higher occurring in December. I wasn't expecting this. So if price continues going higher, let's say by the time January 21 rolls around, if these contracts, the premium increases from what it is today to $5, then it's possible that the price could be around $10 at that point. So I may consider exercising these contracts and buying the 300 shares at $5 per share instead of whatever the market price is in the future, because that's what these contracts allow me to do. That gives me the right to buy these shares, these 300 shares at $5 a share. And the same for this one, where I could buy the 100 shares at $4, right? So that's the option as a buyer of these contracts. So again, I'm going to be monitoring this very closely, of course, because I want to see how this plays out based on this arc right here. I want to see if price stays above it or keeps testing to get above it. And I want to see how price handles this. Will price get supported by this yellow band, and which coincides right here? This is the expiration for December contracts. So, this arc ends in December. So is this where the, a second leg higher will occur? At that point, would it be testing 753 in December? So there's a lot of ways this is going to get played out. But anyway, today was a great start. Yeah. So again, I'll keep my alarm here just in case price does come down. If it does, as I had mentioned as well, I may add to one of these positions, most likely the one expiring in 2023. I don't know yet, but I'll reassess it then, or if it does occur. So yeah, so this is great. Maybe we can end the year on a positive note. So until next trade, good luck to all, and see you.